We're live. We are live. Hi, Kendra.
Hi, Vicki.
We've been talking about this for weeks, and I'm so excited. I think over the last week, we've been like super excited about today and having this live stream and just being able to talk about Reset.
Yeah, I always love my time with you. We always have so much fun together. Stay focused.
Yeah, we had a good time when we did our podcast interview too, because we did that in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, Monique, she just joined us.
Hey.
Yeah, her and I have met through one of my other friends, and we attend each other's live sessions whenever we can. And there's Diana. That's who we met through. Hey, Diana.
Yay. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate it. Kendra Ramirez is a friend of mine. We've actually, I looked back, Kendra, we have known each other since 2008. So we go back years. Yeah, it goes back a while. We've been through a lot together. You've grown a tremendous business or an agency, but you've also over the last year started your own mindset coaching company called Reset, which is what we're going to talk about today. So congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, tell me, I know just because we've known each other for so long, just for people who are watching live or for watching the replay, what inspired you to start Reset?
Yeah, it has been quite the journey. It is not something that I wanted to do. I was terrified, and it was really, Reset came about just in my prayer time and those nudges that we get in our life. And it was so loud. It was, it's time to tell your story, so the nudges that I was getting in my prayer time was like, it's time to tell your story because you might be able to help other people. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But the more I really leaned into it, the more I was like, you know what, if I can help just one person, get through some hard times, then it's worth me sticking my neck out. It's worth me being vulnerable and sharing my story. And so, I've overcome going through divorce and depression and a failed business, 14 years ago. And I've been doing a lot of mindset work. I've had a coach for the last 5 years. I've taken every assessment known to man. I've attended a lot of classes on transformational leadership and life success and, just all the learnings. And so for me now, it's like I got this secret sauce because I live a life of joy and gratitude. Mm-hmm. And coming from such a dark place 14 years ago, and to be able to live that life now, it's the secret sauce isn't mine to keep. It's mine to be able to share with others, and they can identify their own, limiting beliefs. And so Reset just was born out of that, and I was scared to death to release it into the public. And it's been the most beautiful. It's only been around for a year, and it's just been the most beautiful relationship that I've had with the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you, I've told you this over and over again, that I love the fact that you started this mission, that you're on this mission, because it's so purposeful. It can help a lot of people. And especially over the last 6 months with COVID and all of the changes that we've all gone through in our lives, whether we, like I was used to being at home working anyway, but a lot of people had drastic changes in their life, going from an office to home, with working with a spouse and trying to do their, help their kids online with learning. So there's been a lot of changes with, people and just their lifestyles. So having more focus on Reset at this point, I'm sure has been like welcomed by many. So have you noticed a difference with like the need for the mindset coaching?
Yeah. And, first of all, thank you so much. Like, you have been such an encouragement for me since day one. And so I'm so grateful for that.
Thanks.
Yes. I hate that we needed more support and needed more during this time. But it is what it is. And just so grateful that we're in a place to be able to serve. And that's what we did, completely free, coaching. I think it was like the very third week of COVID going into quarantine, 2 full days of coaching, all completely free. We had 7 coaches on each day, giving different topics and techniques and exercises, and completely free. I mean, all of us just jumped in and said, what does the community need? How can we serve? And so it was really incredible for us to be able to step in and do that. And I've had many, many conversations. Just the lack of control and the uncertainty and just fear, being able to how do you move through and process what's happening, and also understand it's a grieving process. What we're experiencing, grieving the old, what we considered normal, right? We're grieving what our life was supposed to have been like, and that trip we were supposed to take, and our work that we were supposed to accomplish. And so, giving ourselves an opportunity to stop and grieve the process, because we're stepping into new normal.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a huge whirlwind, I think, for everybody. And when I'd heard, of course, when you read things on LinkedIn or you see tweets or Facebook or wherever, you get your social media input from, a lot of people were posting about sharing free content or creating Zoom rooms, which, probably overwhelmed Zoom pretty quickly. But just doing a lot of things to collaborate and try and create some type of online community in lieu of being in person and having that in-person contact. When I saw that you were creating the days of mindset coaching, I think you did 2 days where you brought in different people specifically on mindset. And then you also did 2 days of like the professional, like coaching. Everything was free. It's still accessible on the website. To me, that was just, it's an epitome of you, and just always looking to see how you can serve others. And it's one of the things, I think I've told you this many times, but if not, I'll tell you now live with an audience, is that that's one of the things that I've admired about you over the years, that you've always been someone to help others, and you always find ways to help serve others in the best way that you can with your talents or with your resources, or just with whatever you have access to. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. Thank you. You got me tear up on the screen. Thank you so much. And you as well.
Doing that. Yeah, that was amazing, because the amount of time that you pulled that together, to pull all of those people together and to get it scheduled and to, inform people and then have everybody attend and then make it available to people who couldn't be there. To me, that's just, you can work pretty quickly, and you were able to do that with so many people and to serve even more.
Well, at the end of the day, that's why we're all here, right? Like, it's not about us. And, what we've been experiencing is an opportunity for all of us to, to stop and look around. Like, I really feel like this was such a great kind of pause, and everyone's talking about, awakening, because, we needed to slow down, stop, and see where is the most important thing and what truly matters. And so yeah, I think it's just all of our jobs to stop and look around and see, who can we help, who can we serve. That's why you're here on Earth, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think Diana just brought this comment up. She had mentioned grief is the right way of thinking about it, for sure. I think by pulling those resources together in such a short amount of time was a way to help people go through that grieving process, to let them know that they're not alone and that it's okay. This is just part of what's happening to all of us, and let's collaborate. Let's, get into a community and see how we can work through it together. Yeah. I want to say hi to a couple people, Diana and Monique, who joined us first. Tracy, who's joining us from the UK. So thanks, Tracy, for being here. Fun will now commence. We connected on Pat Flynn's live stream that he does every single day. In fact, he just did 104 days in a row. April, we met there as well, and we've collaborated or done some things on the side as well. JD, he's here. Jonathan, we connected on the live stream with Pat Flynn as well. So he's created quite a community over there.
Sounds like I need to know Pat Flynn.
I know. Every day, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Come join us. We're there. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Why don't you share with us who, I know you and I had like a little bit of a conversation before this too. So I know obviously everybody, whether you're male or female, or no matter if you're 18 or if you're 65, you're going through some type of grieving, just, the change in our mindsets throughout all of this. And even before that, moving forward, it's going to continue because we don't know what our new normal is going to be. So why don't you talk a little bit about the type of person or the people that you've been serving over the last year, and then we'll go into like maybe what the top 2 or 3 common themes that you're seeing or hearing as well.
Yeah, great question. So it's just really interesting because to your point, mindset's anyone and everyone, right? But in the past year, conversations that I've had, and I was trying to go through and tabulate all the conversations I've had, and it's definitely over like 450 people, specifically more women than men. I definitely had some amazing conversations with men as well. And they tend to be in the, I'd say, late 20s to, mid 50s, and just the conversations that we've been able to have. At the end of the day, it comes down to just not feeling worthy or not feeling enough, and dealing with the negative self-talk. We have, between 30,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day, and statistically 70% of those are negative. And so we have to rein in those thoughts and, really redirect them and be aware of how we're talking to ourselves. I'm not a violent person, but sometimes the things I say to myself, I would, if someone outside of me said it, I'd punch them. I've always been someone that works really hard. I put a lot of pressure on myself. And I've always, gravitated towards, that negative self-talk. And so with my coach over the last 5 years, we've really, really worked hard on that. And it's, he told me, he's like, you got to name your inner critic. And so he's like, name your inner critic. And so I named mine Karen.
Why Karen?
Just because of all the memes going around, and I just saw a meme before this call of like someone had mocked up like a little American, one of the American Girl dolls, and named her Karen, haircut and shopping cart, and no mask. It was so funny. And so yeah, I named her Karen just to make me laugh, right? Like, and I have some dear Karens in my life, so I apologize if you're a Karen. But it wasn't directed towards anyone. It just, by naming my inner critic Karen, it makes me laugh. And the coach said, make sure that voice, that inner critic, isn't my voice. Give it like a cartoon character, like a Minnie Mouse or Goofy voice. So when you hear it, it just makes you laugh and say, nope. And so for me, what I do is I'm like, not today, Karen. Like when I wake up with those negative voices that are, who are you to do this? And, why do you think you can, accomplish this? Or, whatever it may be. And stop in my tracks. I say it out loud, and I'm like, not today, Karen. You are not going to steal my joy. You're not going to disrupt, the work that I'm doing. So I'd love to hear anyone that's, listening, if you've named your inner critic and what that name is.
Yeah, I think
I love Jonathan setting an inner critic name, but it's not a family-friendly name.
Hey, at least he's got a name though, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Hey, that's all right.
Yeah. A unicorn chaser, Diana. I see the bright side of everything. We were talking about that earlier, how we're like positive. We'll always look at the positive side of everything. So yeah, Michael, mindset of everything, and is a constant battle between you and your thoughts. Yeah, that is so true, Michael. Yeah, take that one, Michael. Yeah, hopefully you're not doing this like when you're in the grocery store. You're like, well, not now. I mean, to your family, you're like, and they're like, who is she talking to? She's just talking to her inner self.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, don't mind her. She's having some negative thoughts right now. Oh, he's trying to come up with some names now. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. So so those are some of the common themes that you've had, is just like the negative self-talk, and just like how to overcome that. Is that the coaching and just kind of helping them like reprogram, or just kind of help them reverse that thought process, especially if they've been doing it all their life? Like, what's the process for helping them through that as a mindset coach?
Yeah. So there's so many different things that we do, depending on what we're trying to work through. At the end of the day, we're not therapists, and we're not going to be like, oh, well, what happened to you when you were 3? Like,
Yeah.
therapists are fantastic. Please know I've been therapy many times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
A time and place for that. But mindset work, the work that we do, is more about how our brains are hardwired, how our brains function, how our brains immediately are in that whole fight or flight mode. And so really just identifying just how our brains are wired, how we can identify limiting beliefs, things that where you self-sabotage, things that you've told yourself that really aren't true.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I struggled with feeling smart. And so I went to my coach, about it. And I was like, I just feel, I'm really stuck with this loop, right? Because that's what our brain does. We just get in these roots, these, ruts in our brain, because it's just a habit. So my brain just naturally goes there of, not feeling smart. And so, we kind of dug into, to that. And then really understanding to rewrite it. And so what he had me do was write out areas that I have accomplished, areas where I did feel smart. And so days where I'm kind of questioning myself, I can just pull out that piece of paper and say, nope, this isn't true. It's a lie. I am intelligent. I just learned differently. Like, school was hard for me. And so that's kind of where this whole story of I'm not smart. It's not that I was a flunking kid. I had to work at it. And it was just, I'm more of a kinetic learner, and our school systems aren't set up that way. Our school systems are read this book and know how to do it. And that's not how my brain works. And that's why I've done technology my whole life, is because you can't read a book and know how to do it. So really understanding, what are those, the undercurrent, that loop that you always go back to, of, understanding, either the, worth or enough, or, trusting your own voice. I would say that trusting your own voice is something that I've heard a lot the last 4 months. A lot of my conversations have been around, because of the uncertainty, it's kind of kicked us into a spiral. And because of just the unrest that's going on, people, stopped kind of trusting their own voice. And being able to identify what a yes in our body feels like and what a no in our body feels like. And I know that sounds woo-woo. It's not. Literally, it's research-based. But we have to really pay attention. And society has given us this whole busyness. Like, people are proud to say, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And it's complete crap. It's not healthy at all. You actually will get more answers by being silent, by having a daily practice to really tune into yourself, whatever that looks like, if it's gratitude practice or prayer or meditation or yoga or walking or whatever. It's different for all of us, but just being able to slow down enough to be silent. And again, the society is like, no, if you want more, you have to do more and you have to work more. And that's not true at all.
No, I think we just have to learn ourselves and understand where our limitations are. Because there are days where more makes sense, but then to your point, and I learned this, I think, probably late in life, is that it's okay to stop. Like, it's okay to take a break, take a step back, evaluate, am I making progress? Am I working on the right things? And if not, the most important thing is how do I change them? And I think that's probably the biggest challenge that most people have, especially if they continue to tell themselves over the years, or even, over the last 6 months, and started creating that self-doubt in their mind. How do you then reverse that? That's a huge challenge for a lot of people, because one, you have to realize that you're doing it. Two, you need to change it. And then three, you have to seek help to actually take action and reverse it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've had, women reach out and they're like, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm running 100 miles a minute. I'm not resting. I'm not. And so I just, kind of tell them, I'm like, well, where are you putting boundaries? We suck at giving ourselves boundaries. We give our children boundaries. We give our pets boundaries. But, like, why did we stop giving boundaries, for ourselves? And And kind of delving a little deeper under boundaries, it really came about for this particular person that I'm thinking of when she was talking about being so overwhelmed. She was a people pleaser. So she said everything, right? And hi, I'm Kendra, and I'm a recovering people pleaser. And I catch myself, and I say no more now than I ever have in my life. It's healthy to set boundaries. It's healthy to say no, and be able to, because sometimes maybe it's just a no, not right now, or no, this isn't in alignment with what I'm trying to do for myself, and giving ourselves permission to say no, right?
Yeah.
The other layer to it.
Yeah. And then understanding that with every yes or no, there's an opportunity cost to that. So if you're saying yes to something, that you get that anxious or that pit in your stomach, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I really don't want to, but I already said yes, now I have to. That's time to realize that because you said yes to that, you're also you're saying no to something else. And maybe that no is more in alignment with your goals and what you are working on than saying yes to this person or this request. And that's important.
Amen. Amen. Agreed. Yeah. Where are my people pleasers at?
Yeah. Put an emoji in the comments if you're a people pleaser. I'll pull up some of the other. There were some pretty funny comments that we're going through here. Tracy calls her negative thoughts Charlie. When he pipes up, I tell him I hear him, but he isn't going to stop me. And he's welcome to come along for the ride.
I love that. And Tracy, I love the fact that you even call it a chatterbox, because then you take away the negative connotation. So I love that you do that as well. And two, some other techniques you can use with that inner critic or that chatterbox. You can even just ask, because it's almost like a little a child wanting your attention. So some people even ask that, that chatterbox, that inner critic, what do you need? What do you need? Like, is there something, that you need? Is there something that I may be glossing over in my life, or maybe that I've been numbing because I don't want to feel whatever needs to be heard? So you can even ask that chatterbox or inner critic, just, hey, what do you need? There's something, because you're being irritating to me. So is there something that you need? Is there something that I've glossed over that I need to go back and actually feel?
Yeah, exactly. That was Tracy did that. Andrew, I think I'll name mine after a person I know.
I had someone do that, a lady on one of our calls. She actually named hers after a bully that she had growing up in elementary school. And so I told her, I was like, he does not deserve that much power. Like, no. Let's think about that a little bit. So, yeah.
Michael's going to go with Ken. So I guess on that. That's funny. So let's see here. We've got Jonathan. If I hear you talking to Jonathan. Okay. Yeah. We don't want to have anybody on here. Busy is the new 4-letter word. Yeah. So true, Tommy. And busy doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right thing to do. Just like, take a step back, and it's okay to take a break. Is partner. Busy versus productive are two different things. Yes. Amen, Michael. You're so correct. Oh, and Jonathan agrees. Busy, not nearly as productive. You're getting lots of feedback from Kendra's speakers. Oh, I'm sorry. I can hear it now too. I think now that I stopped. I wonder why. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Yes, we've got some people pleasers in here. Michael said he is. Monique is raising her person and her hand. Yeah. Tracy used to be a people pleaser. I talked to Charlie. Nice. Awesome. Love it. I think also too with the mindset coaching that you've been having a lot of conversations with people in general, whether they need the mindset coaching or you're talking to people to kind of take that next level in the business as well. So do you want to kind of talk to that as to what's going on right now with Reset and where that's headed in the next few months?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. So we, just based off of just everything that we're hearing, because we've held 3 big face-to-face events. They were always sold out, and they were a ton of fun. And so we're looking at opportunities to do some deeper dives. So we've started these, mastermind groups, where they're, 6 weeks, and they're intentionally small, just 15 people. And then if people want to do any one-on-one coaching, we have an amazing group of 20 coaches that all have different expertise, so that can align up with, the needs. And so between mastermind groups, between one-on-one coaching, and then we have decided to do is move forward with our events, and they are virtual now. So our next big event will be October 1st. And we always have 3 amazing mindset coaches and speakers. And so we're really, really excited. So there'll be lots of information coming out about that event on October 1st. And those speakers will be ramping up that marketing here in July. And so we're really, really excited about that.
Okay. Where can people go if they want to learn more about Reset and to just stay connected with you as all these updates are rolled out in the virtual event?
Thank you. Yeah. So our website is thereset.co. Thereset.co. Feel free to connect with me personally. I'm Kendra Ramirez everywhere. And then we do have a Facebook page where lots of content and little nuggets of learning, that are shared there as well.
Okay. Awesome. And I've got all of these up here on the screen, but I've also included them in the description. So afterwards, if anyone wants to connect with Kendra on LinkedIn, or if you want to follow them on Facebook, check out what they've got going on the website. That's there too. And then one other thing that I think is important, because it's something new that you've rolled out, and I like the name of it because there's some meaning behind it. And that is keep your fork, expect the good things. Talk about that real quick.
Thanks. Yeah, I always love to kind of end on that. That's how I wrap out my webinars. Is like when you were growing up, your grandparents. I don't know about you guys, but my grandparents, my grandmother, I remember always. She'd be like, "Oh, honey, keep your fork," right? Like she would pick up the plates and say, "Keep your fork." And what "keep your fork" is just reminding you, expect good things, right? Because if I kept my fork at the dinner table, that means dessert was coming, right? So dessert was coming. And so a really good friend of mine is a designer, and she also helps me with some of the Reset marketing. And we were talking about this idea, and I share it a lot, and she's heard me say it multiple times. She goes, "Let's put it on like a shirt and a mug," and so we just had fun. It's just for fun. It is not there to make money. But we just have a lot of fun with it. I'm so excited. So our first order came in, and I'm supposed to get it, I think, on the 6th, so on Monday. So I can't wait to, have a little shirt and mug and all that. But just a reminder to all of us, just keep your fork is a mindset, because by keeping our fork, we're just saying, I expect good things to happen.
Mm-hmm. I love that. When I first saw it, I was just like, and then you explained it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Because I'm sure that we've all had that experience where we're like, keep the fork. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. What a great association too. Because then you get a mental, a visual image of that. And it's a great reminder too. I put up the website, which they can access from the Reset website. Actually, yeah, it's on there. And I checked out the merchandise too. It looks good. I like it. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing everything that's going on with Mindset. What you're doing is much needed, and it's serving so many people already. And just know that you've got me as your cheerleader, always supporting you and helping you however I can. Just continue to push this mission, because it's going to serve many. And again, it's going to be amazing. So you're already doing a great job.
Thank you so much. And thanks for everyone that jumped in and were commenting. And I look forward to connecting with you all.
Yeah, you should have a few LinkedIn requests from those who are attending. So yeah. Oh, Tracy loves that. She loves keep your fork. Well, thank you so much, Kendra, obviously, for being here. I'm so glad that I know you. I'm very fortunate that I do. And thank you for sharing your gifts and sharing your experiences with everyone. And then also moving forward as well with Reset. And thank you, everybody, for joining today live. I appreciate it. If you're watching the replay, please don't forget to hit like and let us know in the comments what your favorite part was. And until next time, make today great. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.